Welcome back to the PI Show, viewers. We're talking about chronic pain just before the break, and Dr. Castle. How'd you find him, Kathy?
I thought he was fantastic. Firstly, can I say good evening? It's time
Sorry,
for the mailbag.
Yeah.
That's all right. I think that you were too engrossed with what Dr. Castle
Yeah,
had
it's
to
pretty
say.
intense sort of a topic because it's confusing.
It is. But I think it's safe to say that we all feel that we've got some kind of chronic pain in us.
Anything simple
John,
about
what are your thoughts?
John, the only thing simple about the subject was the word pain. Everything else was very, very
physical
complicated.
Injury and psychological injury.
Yeah, it was chronic.
But I think it's a fine line from what Dr. Castle was saying as to what actually constitutes chronic pain. I mean, as opposed to the
Well, he's
physical.
coming back next week, so we'll just deal with it then.
I've got questions to ask him, so viewers, I'm sorry if I ever take the questions next week. They're going to be mine to Dr. Castle. But look, we've got a lot to jump into today, and thank you again for writing into us. First question we have is, hi guys, I'm a law student who watches your show every week and really enjoys it. I'm interested in why you chose to work in personal injury, as it's a career I'm considering for myself. What motivates you, and do you find your work fulfilling? What kind of person would enjoy personal injury? Thanks. And this is from Will in Hawthorne. Tony, there's a number of different ways we can answer this question. I think we all have something to say on it, but let's start with you.
Well, number one, I got into the law because I thought it was entertaining and it was never a dull moment, which is a fact. And you're always full on, there's no doubt about that. What motivates me in personal injuries? I'm looking after injured people. I'm looking after people that are down hard on their luck, and you get an opportunity to sort of help them out a bit financially. You can't really do much for them in terms of improving their situation from a physical and psychological point of view, apart from the fact that you might suggest different modes of treatment. But one thing I can do for them, and what I've done over many years, is try and get them as much as I can to sort of help them out financially, some sort of security. So that's one of the motivating factors for doing this sort of work. I really enjoy it. So if you ever get a problem, don't hesitate to ring me. No doubt you'll find me. John?
Yeah, Tony, I'm in the same boat. You have to really want to help people. I remember when I first started doing work cover in personal injury law, I thought, wow, you know, these people have been injured at work, no fault of their own. They deserve compensation, and just compensation. And that's what we're here to provide.
And also, John, the wheels have fallen off in most instances. The family's breaking down, relationships are breaking down, they're losing houses. They're really destitute, a lot of the clients we represent. So although you get a lot of personal satisfaction looking after
talking about the entertainment side of things, one of the first reasons why I thought, the idea of becoming a lawyer, yeah, that sounds good. I was shown a movie back in year 9, a long time ago, called The Verdict by Paul Newman. Now, I don't know if you've seen it.
That's in America, John, so different system.
Well, that was a great influence on me, Tony, to become a personal injury lawyer.
Well, I mean, he was looking after a destitute family, and he was destitute himself, I think, the lawyer.
Well, he had a few problems, but it was a medical negligence case.
It was. And he finally got to the truth because he found that nurse that swung the case for him.
Exactly, yes.
Do you remember the case, Kathy? Do you remember the
No, I don't.
show? No? I highly recommend it.
I'll have to watch it.
So anyway, that's
okay, well, I hope that's answered your question, Will. So we'll move on to question 2.
But make no bones about it.
Sorry?
A lot of hard work.
Oh, it is.
There's a lot of hard work. There's
not prepared to roll up your sleeves, Will. Don't get into the law.
There's a lot of hours that constitute the work of a personal injury lawyer, that goes without saying. But it's fulfilling. That's definitely something that I think all three of us can agree on. So, well, we do have to move on to the next question, though. Dear PI Show, my neighbour down the road invited me to their house for a barbecue recently. Their backyard is littered with potholes and generally in poor condition. I stumbled into a hole while I was there, injuring my leg. I have tried to return to their home to take photos of their backyard, as I believe I was unfairly done by, but they are very private and hostile. I have not been able to gain access. What should I do? Thanks. And this is from Alphonse in Footscray. Now, John, what do you suggest that Alphonse do in this instance?
Well, needless to say, in this particular instance, you need to see a lawyer. It's a public liability claim. You're entitled to compensation for the physical and maybe psychological injuries you've sustained as a result of the situation that you've been placed in. You've been invited onto someone's property, neighbour's property. They have a duty to provide you with a safe environment.
Well, it sounds like it was a minefield there, John.
It sounds like it, potholes and generally in a poor condition.
And John, is there a minimum threshold of impairment that Alphonse would have to be in order to seek compensation?
In regards to physical injuries, more than 5%.
But that's for pain and suffering,
For
John.
pain and suffering.
You can still get your medical treatment, also loss of income, notwithstanding the fact that you don't have the 5%.
Exactly.
But I think if Alphonse, the only Alphonse I knew would have got on there, believe me. But if Alphonse wants to gain access, he should see a lawyer who could write a letter.
Yes.
And the letter would be passed on to the insurer, and the insurer, no doubt, would facilitate a view of the premises so that you could take photos. And I think it would assist not only Alphonse but also the insurance company in trying to assess the issue of negligence.
Well,
So I think it'd be
the home and contents insurance of the neighbour's property would cover.
Yeah, it would
this,
cover.
wouldn't it, Tony?
That's exactly right. So I think the neighbour shouldn't be too defensive about it. But if you send a letter and threaten to sue, you'd rest assured that they'd pass it on to the insurer.
And you want to act on it quicker than ever, in the sense that we don't want things to change in the backyard.
Yeah, things
do we?
change. They could fill in the holes. They could plant grass over the top. You don't know. So it's
Tony-
important that you do things quick.
I would actually suggest at this point that maybe Alphonse actually write a letter explaining that he has injured himself severely to the neighbour. The neighbour might not be aware in total. He might be just thinking that he wants the photos. So there would have to be more, but they would have to consult a lawyer regardless. Just to
Well,
double
he's
check.
gone there saying that he's got a sore leg. We don't know how bad his leg is, but you'd think that if he's taken the trouble of doing this, that it's a nasty injury. So go and see a lawyer, Alphonse, and you can start the process from there.
Okay.
Alphonse and lawyers, they go hand in hand, don't they, Tony?
I wouldn't go anywhere. That's about as far as I'll take that one.
Well, we've got another question to go to, and it's Dear Kathy, John and Tony. My daughter was at childcare recently when she fell from the play equipment onto the ground, fracturing her elbow and the growth pallet within. The play equipment was very high off the ground and my daughter fell onto it hard, uncarpeted surface. Do we have a claim? Thanks. And this is from Kevin in Newborough. So what's your take, John, Tony?
The answer is yes. We've only got a short time to answer this one. No. No, I think this needs to be investigated by a lawyer. On the facts as we know them, which are very brief here, I think there is a claim. Public liability again.
It seems like the equipment here is not appropriate for the appropriate use that it should be involved in.
Now, you've got to get advice on this one because I think negligence is pretty much okay.
She's fractured at her elbow, very nasty injury,
It can be a nasty injury.
particularly for a young girl.
Look, we can't say much more than that because
No,
it's
that's
come
right.
towards
But
the
we
end of
do
the show.
recommend that you seek legal advice, and we would like to thank you once again for watching us. And we would
Don't
like
forget
you
the,
to visit the website at www.thepishow.com and keep writing into us, as we love coming back to answer your questions.
And send us emails.
Thanks, viewers.
Thank you.
Stay safe.
Thank you, viewers.
Thanks, guys.